Let's take a look at how you can schedule technicians onto jobs inside of Service 365. So from the home page, if I go into my scheduler, and you see that I don't have any jobs showing up for me right now. That's because I didn't add any jobs against myself yet. So if I go into the scheduler manager, this is where I can do that. So this is where you can really manage everybody's time and make sure that everybody has a full day and all the jobs are scheduled. So let's just take a little look around here. I have my list of jobs here on the left hand side. I can drag these into the schedule and I can make filters, make whatever filters I want to filter this list. I can also schedule quotes as well, so I can also take a look at my open quotes if I need to schedule an estimator to go out to site to quote the customer. So here I have my grid, and I can add or remove employees from the grid. So I don't need to show everybody. If I have, for example, office employees that I don't really need to see in the scheduler, then I can remove those. And I have my my categories, my color coding as well. So these categories can be renamed to whatever you want inside of your admin settings. This is the way that that I've named my categories here. So this view of the scheduler is where I can see each technician and see each day. So it'll default to showing you today, but of course you can go forwards or backwards or pick a specific date range. If I switch on to the resource view, then that shows me the same information, but with taking a look at everybody's next 7 days. So that's where I can see it in a different view. So I can see I've put myself and Rob here on a job on Tuesday. If I go back onto the day view, so to put myself on a job, I can click in the list and just drag it onto my own schedule. Okay, so I've put myself on this job here, and I can add other guys in as well as I need to, if I need to put multiple people on the same job. So I can choose the work type. So by work type, we mean regular time, overtime, etc. You can set that from here if it's going to be after hours or weekends or something like that. I can pick the arrival date and departure date and time. So if it's going to be an overnight job, for example, I can do that, or I can just simply, extend it to, it'll schedule it for an hour by default. So let's say I want 2 hours, I can just pick that in there. And I can set the category right here as well. So those color-coded categories that you see above the grid, I can do that here. So let's say this is going to be a service call, then I can select that. I can leave notify customer checked, or I can uncheck it. That's actually a setting you control in your admin, whether this box is checked by default or not. If I leave it checked and I go ahead and schedule this visit, it's going to send the customer a notification email to say, these are your technicians that are scheduled to come at this date and time. Now, if it's going to be a larger project, maybe it's a multi-day job, I can schedule additional visits right here as well. So let's say this job's going to take place today and next Monday and Tuesday. It's a 3-day job, so I can schedule that. And I can go ahead and pick a couple of other options here. So these drop-down boxes, these are attributes, custom fields that I made within my scheduler, so you won't see these unless you make them yourself. So let's say that at my company, when we schedule technicians onto a job, we actually specify the vehicle that they're going to go in as well, so we can put that in. All right, then we're going to go add. So that's going to put myself, Andy, and Michelle onto that job. And as well as notifying the customer, it's going to notify each technician that's on the job as well that you are scheduled this date and time. If I go back from the scheduler manager to my schedule, and now here I see that I have 3 jobs scheduled over the next few days. So this is a really great feature to be able to put your technicians on jobs, build out their day, build out their week. You never need to call or text anybody to say this is where you're going to be at which time. You can just put it right into the scheduler, and the technician can check it on his phone from home and see where he's got to go. Using his phone as well, he can hit the map pin here. That's going to open Google Maps and give him directions from wherever he is to the job site. And he can do a couple of other things here through the scheduler. He can use the on my way, which is going to send the customer a notification to say your technician's on his way to site now. You can hit request follow-up. That's going to send an email to the project manager on the job and say, hey, look, we thought this was going to be completed in 1 day. You actually need to call the customer. You're going to need to schedule in another visit. And then he can add his time too. So he can actually hit the add time button, and he can fill out his timesheet right from within the scheduler once he's finished work on that job. All right, if we go back into the scheduler manager, so as well as scheduling an existing job or an existing quote, you can also schedule shop time if you need to do that. So when you select shop time, whatever shop time types you have created, so for example, I have one here for training, so let's go ahead and Rob scheduled on some training here. You can put that onto Rob schedule. So the shop time, that can be scheduled as well, and whichever shop time types you have here, that's something that's completely configurable in your admin settings as well. So I've got vacation, training, truck service, etc. Whichever ones you have that are specific to your business, you can build those out so that they appear in the list. And we can do quotes as well. So again, if I'm somebody that schedules estimators to go to site, then as well as scheduling a job or scheduling shop time, I can actually schedule a quote that I have going as well. So really, the only other thing I wanted to show you with the scheduler is how you can actually create a job or a quote right from within here. So if I get a call from a customer, I need to schedule in a service call, and I don't have the job already open in my system, then I can schedule it and create it at the same time. So let's say I need to put Amy here on a service call later today. So I can just click into the grid, into an empty box in the grid. I'm going to say it's a job. So when I select job, it gives me the list of the open jobs that I have, but I just took the call from the customer. They need somebody to come out. I don't have the job existing in my system yet. So I'm going to go create new job, and then we'll pick the customer. So ABC company. Okay, so we'll leave these other details as they are, and we'll just say service call, and then we'll go start job. Okay, so now my job is created, and I can see here that is the job that it just created for me. And I'm back into the scheduler, so I'm going to put Amy on this job at this time. So that's going to be a service call. We will notify the customer, and we will add that to Amy's schedule. So now we've put that onto Amy's schedule, and that is how we can both schedule and create a job at the same time.